So, what do you think of the brief so far?
I think it's a good one because everyone kind of knows what a coffee shop is like. Everyone's been inside a coffee shop, so I think it's quite easy to like add your own ideas to something that's quite familiar. So yeah, I personally quite like it.
What part of the brief did you really enjoy?
The fact that we can like give it our own identity and like own brand and stuff, so you can like be really creative with that and like come up with a name, and it feels like at the end of it all you could have something that's like quite developed and feels like quite kind of real, like it can be built and it can actually happen and stuff. Like not that it's gonna, but that's quite nice to have that for it to feel quite real.
What are your first thoughts about it?
My first thoughts is, from what I know of Southsea, it like celebrates kind of independent kind of outlets and stuff, and it's quite a creative sort of city, lots of art and stuff like that. And I think it celebrates, being an individual. So I want to do something that's quite quirky, which I think is like an identity you can associate with Albert Road. So I was thinking it's been done before, but I wanted to do something maybe along the lines of like an Alice in Wonderland sort of theme. So a bit out there and a bit wacky, but I think that Albert Road can sort of handle that, and I think it'll be like the most fun to sort of do. So I was thinking like sort of toadstools as like seats and like actual proper like big cups that you can sit in and stuff like that. Just have it a bit wacky and a bit weird, because I think that's like the most fun thing to do. Just have it be really creative, colourful and stuff. Yeah.
Could you do a diagram of how you are intended to work on your project?
Well, I've quickly written down like some notes there, just from the lecture we just had. Just like basically keys for visiting the site, so I know what I'm looking for and what other things to consider that I might not initially consider unless I'm reminded to, so that's all down there. But at the moment all my actual design ideas are still in my head because I'm still trying to build the model, so yeah.
Do you have any keywords that you want to work with, include, or?
Maybe like psychedelic or colourful, definitely. Like wacky, weird, quirky, creative. Yeah, something like that.
Do you have any colour in mind that you want definitely to be in your project?
Just like everything to look really saturated. So, but that might be a bit like full on. So it might need to like balance that out. But if you consider like the kind of Alice in Wonderland sort of thing, it's all quite bright and like sort of surreal. So it's not going to look like really dull in there, I don't think.
Where do you think that you want to be in a week's time?
To build this model, to I think what the brief said was to research like the cafe culture and stuff. And I know we're going to Brighton and everything, so I guess it's to understand like how that's been developed and look at like some different precedents and have like a few ideas jotted down and of like the colours and like the specifics, like I was saying, like the kind of toadstool chairs and stuff that will really be something a bit different. Make sure I get those in there. So yeah, just to have more of my ideas in here and to have something tangible like a model so I can play around with that. Yeah.
Do you have any ideas about the accommodation uses that you want to have? Is it definite or?
What do you mean, sorry?
What kind of people you are addressing to?
Okay. I would definitely say students and like young adults, because I think it would be quite like a fun different sort of environment, I think it will attract those sort of people to be like, oh yeah, let's look at that weird place, because it's quite fun and creative and young. It'd definitely be like playful place. So I think definitely for young people, and there's so many students around here. I think any coffee shop you always have students in it.
Do you feel you have any limitations?
Well, you've got the existing building, so like Lynn was saying, you have to kind of respect it to a certain extent. Like you can't just demolish the whole thing and decide to build something new. But I quite like that though, because it gives you a good sort of starting point, and it helps like visually when you go and see it to like kind of conceptualise it within that space. I think aside from that, it's quite open. Obviously, it has to be a coffee shop, so it has to serve coffee, but that's fine. I think, like, if you go to different coffee shops, there's so much variety there. Like, it's kind of like an open book to how you want to present it and how you want to do it yourself. So, yeah, it's quite open.
Do you have any skills that you want to try out this time round?
I had some criticism on my last project where I did a plan but I didn't draw in the section line, so definitely trying to do that. I think just like working on model making, because this year was, well, last year now, but I'm quite new to that, so I think I'm still developing my skills there, and also I have to try and like do things neatly, because I have a tendency to be really impatient and just go, and then just be like, oh, that's fine, and it always looks better when it's neater, obviously, and it shows your ideas off better. So yeah, I think just working on keeping like my presentation really neat and like clear and methodical, because I think like sometimes I can be like a bit sporadic and just do things and not really think about it. So yeah.
So after the model, what are you going to do? How are you going to develop your research about the coffee shops?
I think it's a good idea to take it up to the Heliogen to have a look at how the light comes into the building as it is, and then you can think about, well, how do I want to influence that light, and maybe I want to add a window, take away a window, and think about where people are going to sit and how the light's going to affect the space. I think from there it'll be looking at, I want to do like some research on film, some on the most recent film, because I think that it definitely like captures the style that I want to go for. Looking at presidents and stuff like that, and then I think I'll probably start like just actually drawing a couple of ideas, so and then go from there.
Great. Thank you.
Okay.